Hey guys, Toby Morrison here, and today we are talking about, are you scared to get better? It sounds a bit silly that I would even say that, and I know some of you this will not be relevant at all, where you're just going, what do you mean? All I want to do is get better. But there will be a select group of you, or a few of you, who genuinely feel that you're scared to get better. And what I want to talk about in this subject today is really the reasons behind that, and also some solutions for that. It won't take too long. So basically, if you're scared to get better, there's obviously a fear there around getting better. It could be you don't know what your life would be like once you get better. It could be because you're so used to being sick that has become your identity, and you know, it's scary to let go of that and go into the unknown. And just like living life again is extremely hard when you have been ill for a number of years. You know, it's become what you have known, and you're really stepping into the unknown when you start to get better. I know firsthand because I went through it myself, and it's what I teach in my program. I actually have a set program which helps people transfer over to living a normal life. Because it's an important progression at the end of your recovery. So let's just talk about the fears for a second. So there's a thing called secondary gains, and by the way, like, there's nothing wrong with being scared of getting better. It's just an appropriate feeling, but it's one that can hold you back. And if you can be aware of this and have the awareness of like, oh wow, I'm actually doing this, then you can change it. So there's a thing called secondary gains, and basically what that means is your initial motivator is, yes, to get better, but there's these secondary gains in your current situation that you're liking. And this can come without you even being aware, but I've had lots of clients comment on this and actually let me know that they've had secondary gains, they didn't even realize it. Things like, when I'm sick, I get more attention, or things like, when I'm sick, I don't have to do all the stuff that I don't want to do. When I'm sick, I don't have to face my fears, so it's more comfortable. That's just one aspect. It could be even more deeper than that. It could be, when I'm sick, I don't have to deal with my abusive relationship, or you know, whatever it is, or work, or money, or things like that. I don't have to get a job or run my business anymore, or whatever it is. And so these secondary gains can sneak up on us, and if we're not aware of it, then they are our primary motivator, but they're just kind of hidden, if that makes sense. And so what you want to do is just kind of maybe just have a think about it, and maybe journal about it. Write down, okay, what am I actually scared of, or what am I actually, what do I get out of this situation? And I'm not saying that you're doing this on purpose or you want it to be this way. It's usually just an unconscious fear that comes up. And over a period of time, when you get used to it, that's who you become. And this is the other thing, is a secondary gain can be your identity now. It's who you know you are. And so you may be holding on to that, and that might be actually holding you back. Is you almost need to let go of the old identity in order to get to the new place that you want to be and feel like. And when you do that, that's going to create a much better, healthier chain of reactions and proactions for you to go and do what you need to do to feel well and get better. So stay with me now, because I know it's a little bit confusing and overwhelming, especially if you're going through this, but it's brilliant, because once you're aware of it, you can change it. So now that we understand the secondary gains, it's like, okay, cool. So now it's about a choice of values. Do I value these secondary gains more than the possibilities on the other side of getting better? And this is where you could literally, you could get a piece of paper like this, split it down the middle, and you can write pros of staying sick and pros of getting better, right? Or the secondary gains here and the pros of actually what's life like on the other side. And when you write these down, you know, what's more enticing, because we're only going to move towards what's more enticing for us, really. Like, let's be honest, doesn't matter how hard it is, if we know on the other side there's a pot of gold, we're going to work towards moving there. And so my suggestion to you is, it's absolutely okay if you want to stay where you're at and that's comfortable for you right now, then you need to honor that. But if you're actually sick of being where you're at and you want to change that, and you really do, and that's why you're watching this video, then it's like, okay, cool. So what are the things that I'm moving towards that's enticing me so I can look forward to a better life and I can start doing the things that are going to help me? Because if you stay where you're at and you're living in secondary gains, you're not going to actually do anything that's going to help you move forwards. You know, because why would you if you're getting all these gains that you weren't even really aware of, and you're like, oh wow, like, you know, well, yeah, this is kind of my life. But if you like go, no, that's actually not what I want anymore. Okay, it doesn't serve me anymore, and this is what I truly want. Then it's like, okay, write them down, think about them a lot, and then start to act on the things that you can do every single day that's going to help you get from here to up here. Okay. I hope that makes sense. If you want, there's probably lots of videos on YouTube. I actually haven't even checked myself, but I'm sure if you typed in secondary gains, you would find a lot of information, or at least a little bit. But it's a fascinating topic, and it's not just with chronic fatigue syndrome, it's just with life. Everyone has secondary gains in every situation. It doesn't matter, it can be any friendships, relationships, you know, self-sabotaging yourself with weight loss. You know, you might, again, it might be someone who's overweight who literally wants to lose weight and talks about losing weight all the time, but then they keep self-sabotaging, and there might be secondary gains within that. Or it could just be a habit, and that's a totally different thing. So please don't beat yourself up if this has just been brought to your attention, that you do have secondary gains. You may not. You might just need help doing the practical things to help you get there. But it's an interesting self-awareness question to ask yourself: is there anything that I'm gaining from this situation? You know, and then do I still want that, or do I want something different? And if you want something different, then obviously you can make the changes necessary to do that. If you want more help, go to the website www.cfshealth.com. I'll put a link down below, and you can check out the help that we provide in overcoming the things that we spoke about, and also very much so the physical component of moving forwards, because that is really a major key. Obviously the mental, emotional stuff is important to unlock your reasons for where you're at and where you want to move forwards to, but chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia is not in your head. It's very physical. It's a neurological disease, but it takes a holistic approach, because let's face it, it's not easy and it's freaking hard, physically and emotionally. So that's why we need to have a look at everything. I hope that helps. Make sure you subscribe if you do like this. This is one of the harder topics to talk about. I know it's not easy and it's not a lovely topic to talk about, but you could just be like fascinated with it. Like, you know, one of the great psychologists that worked with me, he said, fascinating. And he said, he goes, you just want to be curious all the time. Like if it's going through, like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder where that came from. And like, don't beat yourself up about it. Just be like, oh, that's interesting, and then move forwards with it, rather than like, oh my God, I can't believe I've been doing this, and like freak out about it and make it harder. Be gentle with yourself. You know, have self-compassion and self-care towards yourself, and then make some changes. Make sure you subscribe. If you did like this video, please hit the like button, and comment below if you've like had any insights from this video. I know there'll be a few people commenting nasty things on this video, because they're going to be saying like, oh, you're just saying chronic fatigue syndrome's in your head and all that stuff. That's not what I'm saying at all. You know, you need to rewatch this video properly without being triggered by it. All the best for now, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.